Hi, my name is Sam Burns. I'm a data engineer here in Clear Strategy, and today I'm going to be taking you through a demo of our reference data management app, Tempo. Tempo allows you to centralize all your reference data and manage it in the one place. So this is the welcome page of Tempo, so I'm just going to sign in with my Microsoft ID. This is what you will see when you first sign into Tempo. There is a menu on the left hand side which lists all the databases that you have connected Tempo up to, the user manager which controls your users, admins and permissions, a tracker menu which shows all the actions that have happened within this instance, and also a help menu consisting of some FAQs and some general information about the app. So let's get started. Let's say I want to add a new database to Tempo. I want to just click this plus. I'm just going to add the car database, and then I'm going to select an ODBC connection string which I've already stored within Tempo. So I'm just going to select this one, verify connection. So this ODBC connection string allows you to connect directly to your cloud database. In this example, it is our Snowflake database. So with the use of that connection string, I now have access to all the tables in the Snowflake instance. So here are all the tables that I can choose from just at a click of a button. I'm just going to take in the car and car make. And just like that, the car database is loaded into Tempo. Now that we have seen how to load tables into Tempo using our ODBC connection string, let's see what we can do when the tables are in Tempo. So for this demo, I'm going to use the product database. So there are two tables within this product database. The first table is just the product table. So we have a product ID, a product name, a max speed, let's say for broadband products, a product family ID, so what family that product belongs to, and then our two audit trail columns, updated by and updated time. This just gives you an audit trail of what changes were made and who made them. So that's the first table in the database, and this is the second table, the product family group. So this consists of a product family ID, which we saw in the last table, and then a product family name. So this maps the product family IDs to a name in the second table. So let's go back to the first table, and we need to configure it before we get started. So I just need to go to table settings, configure table, and I'll just need to assign a primary key before we continue. So I'll just come across to the product ID column, which is the column I want to set as the primary key, click edit, select primary key and update column. Now I want to set a reference column. This product family ID, which we just saw, is a number in the table. You can see here product family ID is 1, it's 2, -1, 2, 3. So I want to pull in the values from the product family group table and have them displayed in the family ID column in the ref product table. So how do I do that? So what I need to do is go into table settings. I need to edit the product family ID column. I need to scroll across here to special column. I want to set it as a reference column. I want to select reference. So the reference table I want to choose is the product family group. The display column is the family name, and the value column is the product family ID. So I'll apply that reference and I'll update the column, save and close. And there you go, the values have been loaded in to the product table. Now we can inspect these, see what's going on, and you can see there are a number of unknowns. So this happens a lot in reference data management, where products can be marked as unknown and you need to assign them to the right family in this instance. So let's filter on our unknowns. We can see here that there are 6 unknowns. So there are 4 calls and 2 mobile. So I need to assign these 4 calls products to the VoIP family. So how do I do that? I just select all the 4 columns, all the 4 rows, excuse me, and click edit rows. And now I choose which column I want to make editable. So this product family ID is the column I want to edit, and I want to assign it to VoIP. And by doing that, you can see that they now disappear from our unknown filter. And all that's left is our mobile products. So I can do the same as these. I select each row, I click edit row, and I want to make the product family ID column editable. If I wanted to edit the max speed, I can edit it in here, but I don't want to do that. I want to edit the product family ID. So I want to set them to mobile. And just like that, we've gotten rid of all our unknowns in the table. Now that we have seen what Tempo can do in terms of filtering and group editing, let's see what it can do in terms of an audit trail. So I'm in the reference table here for the family groups, and let's say I want to edit one of these rows. So I want to edit digital TV, and I need to change the name of that to just TV. So I select the row, I click edit row, and I edit the product family name column like we saw on the last table, and I save changes. Now I've edited the product family name column. You can see my username and the timestamp I made this change comes across into the table. This is a very helpful tool within Tempo that is built into the app that allows you to see who made the changes and when they were made. So this is crucial in terms of the audit trail for tracking changes to your database in Tempo. Now that we have seen how Tempo can help you manage your reference tables within the app, let's see how it can help you manage the users that have access to the tables. So in here, in the user manager section of the app, we have the full list of users. We have groups, roles, permissions, and the vault, which I'll come to in a minute. And here are all the users, the 4 users that have access to this instance. Let's say I want to add another user. It's just a simple click of a button, add account, Jane Doe, and then I can save, and that's the username, and I can just set the password for the account and give these credentials to Jane, and she will be able to sign in to this instance and see what we can see here. So now let's say Jane's a manager of the team, and she doesn't need to be just a business user. She needs to be an admin. So let's configure admins here to create the admin account for Jane. So I want to add Jane. I want to add Jane to the admin group. So now Jane has full admin permissions to this instance, so she can see all of the tables in the app. Now, of course, we're going to have business users with business permissions and admin users with full admin permissions. But within that business permissions, we don't want everyone to be able to see every table. We might just want the product team to see the product table and the car team to see the car table. So let's see how we can do that. Let's come across to permissions, and I can add a permission here. So I want to select the account John Doe, and I want him to only see the product table. And then I can select which permissions to give him. So I want to give him full permissions here, but I need to require approval. So let's say John Doe signs into his business user account, goes to the product table, makes an insert. It will pop up on a screen saying this action requires approval. That approval will then be sent to the admins on the team, and they can either approve or reject it. So that's just an extra layer of security within the permissions that can give you more control over what's going on to your reference tables. So I'll just click save here, and instantly that permission takes effect, and John Doe will have full access to that product table. If I was to sign in as John now, I'd just see that product table, and anything that I do to that table will be sent for approval to an admin. Let's go across to the vault here. So the vault here is where we store connection strings. Connection strings are very sensitive information that allow an instance of Tempo to connect directly to your database, so all your data. It's very important that this is protected and secure. So we have it stored in an Azure Key Vault, so this cannot be viewed by anyone, and this is a very, very safe way of storing your connection strings. So I have added the connection string earlier that I used for the product and car table, and it's very simple to add a connection string. You can just come in here, I'll just say demo, and then you pop in your connection string here, which consists of a username, a user password, and the URL that is the Snowflake instance or your AWS instance. So that is how Tempo stores the connection strings that allows it to connect to your cloud database. Now we can come across to the tracker section of the app. In here, it shows all of the changes that have occurred throughout this Tempo instance. So you've got in the product group, in the product table, the vast majority will be in the product table, like we saw, but this product group is the update that I made to the digital TV row. So in here, it just gives you a full access to everything that has happened. So you can see which user, which table, what type of action, and when it was completed. Now here there are the approvals section, so any request that has been sent by John Doe, the example that we had earlier is the business user in the product table. So he makes an insert into that table, it's sent for approval. I'm signed in as an admin user here, so it'll be sent here. So it'll pop up here with a little approve or reject, and once that's approved, that change takes effect in the table. So it's very simple, gives it kind of extra security, extra control over everything that's happening to your reference tables. Let's come across to the help section. It's very simple, just kind of gives you a background of Tempo and what it does, how to get set up, what you can do to the tables, the import and export functionality, and also the user management and the permissions at a user level and group level, like we saw. That takes us to the end of our Tempo demo. I really hope you enjoyed, and thank you very much for your time. Goodbye.